Okay, let's wait for one more couple of minutes to let everyone join, and then we can get started. So do you have any questions, Vijay, meanwhile?
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm going through the videos, Shiva. Yesterday, like I received some couple of videos that I
Okay.
missed. So yeah, I went through that
Hmm.
videos. I installed software. I mean, yeah,
Okay.
runtime environment, all those things. Yeah, I need to do some
Okay.
other setup. Yeah.
Okay. So you need to make sure the services are up and running every time. If you see something like this, I'm sharing my screen.
Yeah.
If you see something like, if it is status is error, you can stop and start the services from the
Okay.
UI itself. Okay. So
Okay.
for example, this mass ingestion is not running. You can start like this.
Okay. And yeah, I mean, in the video you mentioned like at I mean, service level itself, like where we see the main service. So there we have option like three options like automatic restart to enable.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, so that
correct.
won't help.
No, that won't help because sometimes, say this is a secure agent which goes for a continuous constant upgrade. It's a self-upgrading agent. So
Okay.
sometimes, this is at a Windows level. For example, like, I have set up this Informatica Cloud Secure Agent. This is my Windows level configuration where I go to my properties and go to recovery, and
Yeah.
you actually set up
Okay.
something like restart the service. But I did
Yeah.
not do
Correct.
it because
Okay.
on subsequent failures also you just put a restart service, click on apply OK. So this will ensure the moment you let's say your laptop is switched off, and you bring up or you start your laptop, so that services would come up by automatically. But at times you would see that one or two services may not be running,
Okay.
so you have to
Okay.
make sure you can start
Start.
that specific service which is not running, and make sure this secure agent is up and running. Only you can start your development work. Without that you can't do it.
Okay.
Okay, I also see Bhavani joined. So Bhavani, hope your services are up and running.
Yeah, yes, Shiva, it's good enough.
Okay, okay, okay. Mahesh, what about you?
Yeah, sure. For me, it's fine, sure.
It's fine, right? Okay. Andy,
Yeah, I'm
Andy,
good. I'm good. I'm
you're
good.
good. Okay, okay, good, good, fine. So just wait. Let's wait for a minute. I think the services should be running. Uh, just keep on refresh your status, and also you can verify it from the agent code log. So you need to go to the directory where you install your local secure agent. Go to agent core, and there is a file called agent core here. Okay, just make sure if you just open this file, you'll see that if there is any recent upgrade, the packages will get downloaded automatically, and the services would be upgraded with the latest version. For every service there is a version. So you see that now the mass ingestion is changed to running. Okay, so we can just reload the page or refresh the page, and you can see that the mass ingestion should be up and running. So I've given you the steps, just in case if something goes wrong, how to restart the services from a command prompt. And also, I think, I've given you the secure agent installation steps. You can go through the document if you need any help. So we need to make sure all these services are up and running before we start our day. Okay. So let's start our day. And we were discussing about an insert update scenario where, we wanted to do a mapping. So like, there was a small mistake which was done yesterday, so we couldn't complete that, but let me complete it now. So for that, let me just launch my SQL developer, and I'll just we'll work on the same employees table, which is my source table. Okay, let's go ahead and do it. Click on new mapping. Click on create mapping. And give the mapping name as m_customers one-time load, or I'll just put the name like this. So go to source. You can just maximize this, select your SRC NFA connection and click on select. Select your employees table. Let's just have a just a pass-through expression. Just put your expression here, and in target, configure your target to create target at runtime. So click on select. Give the name as employees underscore target as your target table name. Save it. So the fields get automatically populated at the runtime when you create a new target at runtime. Copy the mapping here and go to this 3 dots. Click on new mapping task. And now create a mapping configuration task. And we'll just run this. MCD underscore, select your local secure agent. Click on next. Finish it. And run this. Just keep your monitor also open. Click on open in new tab. We don't need administrator. You can close it. So we'll go to my jobs and you can see the job status, which would be in running, starting state and queued state, and then it will go to running status. So you can find similar things in monitor. We have running jobs and all jobs, where you can see the entire running history, the previous history. You can even track the previous history in the all jobs.
Here coming to history, Shiva, like, is it like for each instance the history will be maintained, or we have to say,
correct.
like in Power Center, we have to set the properties at the monitor level too, if you want to open older files, logs, if you want to see
for
that
for
one.
every instance, you actually maintain a history, like load aura 1. So it gets appended with 1 for every instance. For example, I go to all jobs, right? Now we have run some instances yesterday. For example, I run mapping 5.1. For every instance, there would be 1, 2, 3, 4 would get appended. That's called run ID. Okay. Now, we just ran this one, right? So if I just click on this mapping configuration instance, I get an instance ID, which is instance ID here with the properties. So I got 32 rows loaded to my target table.
Okay. And yeah, here, like, because in Power Center we will have a session folder, like in real time we'll maintain the folder, like even if you want to check that one, so from the back side. So here also, like, because in the my jobs screen we may not see older prior days date file. So in this case, like, do we have any folder like where those logs will be tracked or saved?
Yeah, in data integration server, in the secure agent directory, in the local secure agent under apps and data integration server, you see there is a folder called logs. Okay, there is a
Okay.
folder called logs.
Oh,
But the
okay.
only difference is, you get to see something like it would be appended with the different ID. You may
Job.
not be able to exactly find it out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the only, what I would recommend is you get an option to download a session log from the UI itself, and because this is actually getting appended with the activity log details. If I just click on the instance here, you see that this is a monitor main activity log details, and you get a different ID for every org, because we speak about organization. Org is nothing but uh, it's a kind of domain in Power Center, right? In Power Center, we have a domain where you
Yeah.
define multiple nodes, and you actually have different services configured under the domain. Similarly, in IICS, we have something called domain. Sorry, we have organization, not domain. We have something called organization, which is the name of the org. It's called org actually. In short, we call org, but it is organization, where you have a name and environment type and number of employees, and you get you define everything here. For example, for a failure email notification, which is defined at a org level, you can even specify this. For example, I want to give a failure email notification like this. For every success or for every failure, for warning, I just select this and I click on save, so that my for every job that I run, if it is a failure, if it is a success, or even if I get a warning, I get a mail. I can specify at a org level. Okay, so all of you understood this. I just did a simple mapping here. I just did a simple mapping where I just load it. Now we'll do an insert update scenario. You understood? Okay, so let's go back to the mapping. For example, I want to make a copy of the same mapping, right? So I just go to explore. I go to my folder, click on the project and then the folder, and then you have just sort it with updated on. You get the latest mapping here, right? Uh, you get the latest mapping. Just select the mapping. You want to make a copy of it. Click on this downward arrow and just click on copy to. Click on copy to. And then you need to select the folder and click on the training, select, click on select again, and it is giving you a copy of that mapping, right? It gives you a copy of that. So sorry, just a minute. I think I did it in the wrong place. Just let me make a copy of this. Make a copy too, and you can select this folder. Click on keep both, so that it creates a copy, and then you can open that mapping just in case if you want to make a copy of it. Now we have a source, we have an expression, we have a target, right? So for example, I'm talking about a couple of scenarios how to achieve an insert update scenario. This can be done multiple ways, but I want to explain one way where we would use a joiner transformation. So we have a source configured here, right? The source is the same source where you get the properties. Now the second source, for example, this is my source underscore employees, right? This is my actual source. And this is my source underscore employees target table, which is my source. And now I have to import my target as my source. Just go to the connection, click on select, and just search for the target that we created, employees underscore target. Okay, and now you can drag and drop a joiner transformation. Click on the plus icon. So this is going to be your detail, and this is going to be your master. Save it. Now let me re-import the employees table one more time before, what we would do is we'll insert a row and we'll update a row. So for inserting a row, right, I'll just take these values except, the customer ID. Just click on the plus icon. I'll give some values like 2255 and just paste it. And, we'll update this one. We'll update some other, okay, 2255 we already have. So I'll just put 2266, 2255. Okay, this one, right? We'll just update all these values. Okay, we'll just take these values, right? So I'm doing an update of one record, and I'm doing insert of one record. So just click on commit. So I updated one record and I inserted one record. So what was the record that I inserted? This was a record that I inserted. So I'll just copy this and I'll put it in my Notepad++. This is for marked for insert. The next one is the one that I updated was this one, right? So okay, so I just come back here again. Just committed. Okay, now I go back to my data integration service and also go to my source, and I want to make sure I re-import it again. So how do I re-import it again? Like, I just change some to some random connection, because my intention is to pick up the updated table. So I just change it to some random connection. I come to the actual connection that I want to change. Click on yes again. Now select it, because I want to re-import the changes that I've done. So just click on employees. Okay. This is to make sure, the changes are reflected, for whatever I'm trying to do. Click on save. And now go to the same thing, employees target. Change it to some random connection. I just changed to connection underscore Scott, but I don't want this. I'll go back and change it to SRC INFA and click on select. Click on save. Now we have a joiner transformation. So joiner transformation, I go to incoming fields, and there is a field name conflict. So resolve field name conflicts with a bulk rename options like prefix. I'll just put a prefix here and I'll put S underscore just to make sure they are my source. That just, if you just resolve conflict for one of your source, that should be fine. The other one is good. go to join condition, and now select your full outer condition, click on plus, select your employee ID is equal to your source employee ID, save this. And now what you need to do is, now we need to call a router transformation. So drag your router here, okay, and make couple of targets, keep the targets ready. And now just link it to router, go to router transformation, go to output groups, and here you can add insert and update group. Insert as a simple advanced condition. You put a, okay, put advanced condition as is null of employee ID. Okay, that's a insert condition. And for update, what you need to do, just put update. And here we need to take a unique combination of the rows. So I have to check source employee ID equal to my employee ID, and right. So I need to take all the values, like, you know, for example, I'll take just pick up some values like this. I think I already have it in a notepad. I'll just refer to that. Just a minute. So I have taken this. For example, I just want to take only these values, like address 1, address 2, and city. Okay, I just take these values. So I'm taking only address 1, address 2, and city. I'm just making sure if these values of employee ID is equal to my source employee ID, and the source address is not equal to my target address, and source address 2 is not equal to my target address, and source city is not equal to my target city, then it should go for an update. Click on OK. Save. We can even add, you know, even the, I think, you know, we can even add state also. For example, you want to add state, you can even do it, you know, click on edit filter condition. You can put multiple conditions. You save this. So you should get a prompt like mapping was saved successfully. If you want to arrange all, click on arrange all, and you get this. So now you can configure your target here. You know, the first one is for insert. Just click on this plus icon and map it to insert to this target and this to this target, and go to target. Now the first target is, let's say I'll just put TGT insert. Okay, insert, go to target again, and select your connection. Okay, we got the target here already. But just make sure you're re-importing it again, like, you know, just to make sure you're having it the right thing. So it's actually picking up from the runtime one, the previous mapping, but we want an existing one. Just select it again, click on OK, and go to field mapping. Now field mapping you get automatic by default, so you need to change it to manual. Okay, because we don't want automatic, because we want to map only the source fields, not the target fields. Because we are doing a comparison against my source field. So just take this. Click on save. So your insert target is done. Now we need to go to the update target. Just rename to TGT underscore update. Maximize this. Go to target. and click on select existing one, click OK. And here you need to select update and click on the columns that you want to update on based of what? Based on employee ID, I'm updating it. So I selected employee ID, then I go to field mapping. I go to field mapping again. I have to do the same things again. Like, I just have to change it to manual. And again, employee ID here, job ID, first name, last name, address, city, state, postal code, phone, office phone, and email. Just save this. Okay, so let's rename the mapping to, the mapping is done. So just click on this. Rename the mapping to m_customers, insert, update, Aura. Just click on save. So that, the mapping name gets updated. So copy the map, click on this. Do not run a mapping alone. It's always recommended to run a mapping configuration task, not just a mapping alone. So just give mcd underscore and this one. Select your secure agent group. Click on next. Click on finish. So remember, I have opened all this in my Chrome incognito tab. Okay, I'll just run this now. Go to my jobs. So we got two rows processed here. So one row is for insert and one row is for update. If you look at this, so if I go back to my target table and what was the customer ID that was marked for update to, I think it was 2555, right? So 2555. So I'll just do select start from employees underscore target, right? Employees underscore target, where my employee ID is 2555. So we got this, all the update values, whatever we just updated. And similarly, the other one was that we inserted was 2266. So just go to 2266 again. Again, just give the same value here. And you see that the record got inserted into your target table. So this is one way to achieve an insert update scenario. Okay. So all of you understood this? Any questions from anyone?
Yeah, Shiva, like here for update, right? So is it do we have to mention based on what? I mean, it should be a mandatory that it should be a key column to update, or
Yeah.
it's like a, I mean, update override, target update
Yeah,
override. It's like.
that's right. And even we have something like, in the target properties, we also have something like, data driven. You also have data driven. We also have something called upsert, where you can either it performs an update or insert. It's an upsert functionality based on the columns, that you want to update. For example, you can specify multiple columns also, like based on these columns that you want to update. But, employee ID is the main thing that we are looking at. So based on employee ID that we are updating the columns, not on the actual columns that you intend to update, based on a specific key column, correct? So based on that, you update the properties. And similarly, we have uh, data driven. For example, I will select the data driven and click on a configure condition. You want to specify something like if it is null, then it is DD insert or DD update, right? So for example, I want to give it something like, like is null of address, is null of, let's say I'll take the fields and, I select address 2, then, DD insert or DD update, else DD insert. The same functionality what you find it in Power Center. I think this one, right?
Here,
No,
if is not required, if
yeah, sorry, I forgot that. IF is null. You get a syntax here, see. You get a syntax also here. By default, you get a syntax that is showing up here. IF is null of address 2, DD insert, else DD update. Got it? So this is how, you perform a data-driven functions also. You can also do a data-driven function. I think I have an example. I'll just show you that because, just in the interest of time, right? For example, okay, I don't have to save this. That's okay. So I'll just go to my explore page, right? And go to my all projects because I've done some scenarios. Let me just give you that insert update 1. Just a minute. Yeah. So this mapping I had, address to as a DD update. If it is null, based on the employee ID, it is actually taking a data-driven operation and it performs an update. Okay. The other thing I wanted to discuss was about, a similar way we can achieve things by using a lookup transformation. So I'll just create a lookup transformation using a specific MD5 function. We can just calculate the uniqueness of the row. For example, I want to take employees, insert update. Okay, we'll go back to the same mapping. Instead of just doing it same thing again, we'll go to the explore page. Go to your project. Okay, now this one, I'll take a copy of this and make a copy to the same folder again. Click on select so that it makes a copy. Keep both. And it would open a new version with copy 1. Just open that copy 1 and we'll just do m customers one-time load lookup aura. Okay, so that we know that this is a lookup thing that we are doing, but we are not using lookup here. But here, what I'm trying to do is I have the same source. But I would also create an output field. The output field is called hash byte. I'll just select something called hash byte, the string value of 255. And then what I'll do is I'll go to configure, and I'll take a built-in function of my MD5. There is MD5, a function which is a unique coding, right? So this function is actually giving the kind of checksum value, where it is taking the entire uniqueness of a row. Go to your fields, except your employee ID. Okay, so job ID, let's say, concatenate first name. I think I have it here. I'll just copy the same thing to just, in the interest of time, and just paste it here. Click on. So the expression is valid, and I get a unique hash byte that is generating for this target table. Go to my target. Okay, so I just go to my employees target again. I just save this. Okay, so we have this mapping. Let's create a mapping task. Click on this new mapping task. Click on next. Click on finish. Okay, I'll just run this. So, sorry, I think I need to drop the table, I guess, because the columns are created, right? Just a minute. This may fail. Yeah, so I was expecting this. Okay, we'll do one thing. Go to target. Click on select. Create new runtime. Just put target 1. Click on OK. Click yes. Save. Okay, let's run it one more time. Click on run. I was talking about mail things, right? So for example, I have a warning now. If you see that there was a warning there. So I get a mail trigger to my, see, I got a mail from admin saying, okay, this is completed with warnings. You get the entire, entire information about, what organization start time, end time, everything. You get everything here with the URL also. You can access your Informatica account through this URL. So you get a prompt for every warning or for every success or failure. I configured at an org level. So I got 33 rows processed to my target table. So if I just do my, select star from employees underscore target 1. Okay, I get a unique hash byte value, which is holding the uniqueness of a row, a unique hash byte value for every record. Okay, so I can achieve a lookup scenario on this now by using creating, let's create one more mapping. Copy this, go to mappings, give a mapping name as lookup load lookup insert update. Okay, just give something like lookup insert update. Go to your source. select your employees table. Okay, now for this source records, right? So just go to your employees table again, and just modify something back again. For example, I just remove these values for the same thing. I'm just removing this. And I'll also update one record. So I inserted a record and updated the record. So okay, again, I may have to just re-import this employees table. Just want to make sure I have the updated changes. You can just search for the table itself directly and select it again. Click on OK and save it. Everything is like, on the UI itself. Just save this. Now we need to call an expression transformation. And if you just click on this dotted lines here, you get the recommendations and you get expression. And drag your target, remove the link. In expression transformation, you can call a output field as hash byte, string 255. Click on configure. And again, just copy the same things again, validate it, save it. And now we'll call a lookup transformation. Drag and drop a lookup transformation. Just connect it to lookup transformation. And maximize the properties. Go to lookup object and go to your. Let's check the incoming fields first. Incoming fields. You get all these incoming fields. And in lookup transformation, go to lookup object and select your connection and select your target table now, which is your employees underscore target. Just search with target. You get the employees target one. Sorry, the target one is our target, right? Employees underscore target one. Yeah. So I select that target, and you get multiple matches. Return on any row, return any row, first row, last row. So I'm leaving the default option like return any row. Go to lookup condition. Now you get a resolve field name conflict because you have the hash byte thing, right? So the same field is having. So what you can do is the fields coming from expression, you can put a prefix as s underscore. It stands for, okay, this is source or src underscore. Anything is fine. Just click on s underscore. Now click on the lookup condition. Select your employee ID matching with your s underscore employee ID and go to return fields. Right now, return fields, we only need employee ID and hash byte. We don't need anything else. So how do I make sure I delete all the other fields? Just click on this and you have an option called delete, right? So you need to uncheck the ones that you want to retain, and then you can click on delete so that all other fields will get deleted. Okay, just click on delete and click on yes, so that you get only employee ID and hash byte. For example, you might have done some mistake, right? You want to retain or you want to get it back. So you just have to click on synchronize. You click on synchronize, which fields you would like to synchronize, all fields or new fields. For example, you added some new fields to your target. You want to synchronize new fields, you can select this. But for example, I want to select all fields. Now I get it back. all the fields, I get it back. All of you understood this? But in case if I want to just retain only 2 fields or 3 fields, I don't need all the fields. I can just uncheck them and click on delete so that the ones that are marked here gets deleted. Click on yes. Is this clear for everyone? I'm taking only the employee ID and the hash byte. Okay, so is that clear? So now I'll have to take a router transformation, drag and drop this to this router, and again, go to output groups, and again, the same thing what we did, insert and update. So the insert is the same thing again. What we do is we go to advanced condition, click on define filter condition, and just give is null of employee ID. It's a simple insert. Now we need one more group for update. Click on configure, go to advanced, define filter condition, employee ID equal to, or just select s underscore employee ID equal to employee ID and your source hash byte not equal to your target hash byte. It's a update scenario. It's simple thing, it's holding the entire thing in one single. It's like a checksum value, uniqueness of a row. Okay, understood? Is that clear for everyone? So now we can have 2 target instances, one for insert and one for update. Just click on the target, copy paste. Okay, you get one more target here. Click on this plus icon. Insert will go to this target, update will go to this target. Same thing what we did, go to target, but here you may have to do, you need to do your field mapping also. Go to source info and click on select. So we need to import that target table, which is employees underscore target 1. Go to field mapping.
Not
Here, yeah. So you need to take the source hash byte here and also the source fields. So you need to configure these properties until unless these things are done, your mapping is not valid. Go to second target and click on the target again. Select your connection again. Maximize this and click on select. And just select the target 1. And this is an update. Click on add employee ID. So based on this column, you can specify the update columns for the target object here. Select the fields of the target object to be used as update columns. So this is a clear explanation which says based on what unique column that you want to update the other columns. So based on my employee ID that I want to update, right? So I just select my employee ID. Go to field mapping. The same thing what we did, right? Source hash byte will go to this employee ID here, job ID, first name, last name, address, address to, city, state, postal code, phone, office phone, email. Save this. So your mapping becomes valid now. The moment you complete all this, your steps, right? Just click on this arrange all, and you can also click on the validation here. The mapping is valid. Okay, so we can create a mapping task, click on this dotted lines here. You can do it two ways. Just copy this. Okay, just copy this. You can do it two ways. You can go to new task, select your mapping task, click on create, and you can even select this. The advantage that we do it there is you get the mapping automatically. You don't have to select it. Okay, you don't have to select the mapping, but here you may have to select your mapping, because again you have to search for it. But there you get the mapping name directly. Okay, you get the mapping name directly when you do it in the mapping itself, in the mapping frame itself, the mapping canvas. Click on finish. So for every mapping, we create a mapping task, which is equal to a session in Power Center, right? So we can directly run this. Now click on run. Okay, we did the update, right? We did the update and insert scenarios. Okay. Fine. What was that 2277, right? Okay. So let's go and run this. Click on run. Go to my jobs. And just go to monitor screen. Go to running jobs. So for every instance, there would be an instance ID that gets automatically appended. For this one, it is appended with -1. You can keep clicking on this refresh so that the status gets changed, or you get an option, you get something like updates available on the top, which means that okay, there is some update and you want to check it. Okay, you get updates available. So when I click on updates available, I see that the status is changed and it is success now. Two rows are inserted. Okay, one row for mark for update, one row for insert. Okay, so just go back here and the same thing. I think the employee ID was what was employee ID? I think 2277 or 2288. Okay, 2288 is for insert, right? 2288. Employees underscore target 1. Okay, this was for insert scenario, and we also did an update scenario for one of the customer. What was the update that we did? This one 2555, right? 2555. Okay, so this got updated now. Okay, with the hash byte value. All of you understood this? In this scenario, we have not taken any other fields. We have taken the hash byte values.
Shiva, in router update section, are we using not equal to or equal to, Shiva? Some confusion.
In router, right? You mean in the
Yeah,
router condition,
yeah.
I'm
Update
using
class.
not equal to for hash byte, but I'm checking my employee ID. The employee ID should be equal to my source employee ID. My target employee ID should be equal to my source employee ID, and hash byte not equal to my target hash byte. Obviously, right?
Yeah,
When you have some
yeah, yes, sir.
changes, it won't be equal. So that's a update scenario. Okay. Is this clear for everyone? Understood? The
Yeah.
lookup transformation.
Yeah.
Now,
Yeah.
yeah. Hope it is clear for everyone. Please ask me questions if you have. Okay, I can see
And
Karuna.
yeah,
Yeah, Shiva joined, right?
yeah, sure. Like in lookup, can we write a lookup override?
Yeah. You can write a lookup override also. Go to lookup transformation and lookup object. You have this advanced properties, and you see
Okay.
there is a lookup override here in
Okay.
this. You can write a lookup override to just query that and see some conditions. You can put it.
Okay.
See, you
And
can refer to my previous recording of SQL override, which I covered in my source transformation. See, in the source properties, right? We have pre-SQL and post-SQL, and also we have SQL override. And those something similar in lookup also. Okay, if you go to source and there is query options, you can filter and sort. And also you have an advanced option where you can do a pre-SQL and post-SQL. And I also discussed about pre-processing and post-processing command, in the mapping task. If you go to edit, something called pre-processing and post-processing. Okay, if you can refer to that recording, you will understand more about that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so one more important thing that I would like to cover is for today. Let's say I have a requirement, to call unconnected lookup. Now, how do I call my unconnected lookup? So I have a source. Okay, I have an expression. I'll just put an expression here and go to my source. I'll just give a name as m underscore unconnected lookup example. And source, let's say I'll take my Scott connection. Okay, I select my EMP table from my Scott connection. So we just spoke about, okay, 1 minute. It looks like my Scott connection is locked. Okay. Okay, so I need to make sure, right? So what I can do is I go to my administrator service again, and I go to my connections. So I have the Scott connection, connection underscore Scott, or what was the one that I was using? Okay, anything I can use, just a minute, connection underscore Scott. Okay, it's successful, right? So we can use a connection Scott. Click on select. Select your EMP table and save this. Okay, and now I drag a lookup transformation. I just put it in the mapping canvas here. And the moment I drag this, you get an option called, you want to select as unconnected lookup. If you just put a check mark here, that would remain, that would be unique. You wouldn't get the arrow here for a previous connection. It doesn't prompt you to allow you to connect to any previous transformation. So it's an unconnected lookup. Okay, now we have to configure this unconnected lookup. So we need to go to the lookup object. Okay, now I want to look up on my department table. So I'll just select my Scott connection, click on select. Now select my department table. And in the lookup condition, right? We don't have a lookup condition where, we need a condition to lookup field from the incoming field. So, but we don't have incoming fields. So how do I do it? I go to my incoming fields. I just click on this plus new field. And I just give a dummy field like I underscore department number, right? I just give a dummy field like this. Go to lookup condition and click on plus. Lookup field is your department number equal to your I underscore department number, which is a dummy field. Return fields. Okay, I need only department number. Just click on this return field. You can only have one return field for unconnected lookup, right? Just click on save. Same thing what I told right earlier. If you don't want other fields, you just select all and just retain everything. And if you want to unselect something, you can just unselect something. So now you need to call an expression transformation. Like you need to call an unconnected lookup. How do you call it? Go to expression, click on this output field, O underscore department number, which is let's say it's a decimal. Click on OK, configure it. Go to your built-in functions, come down, go to lookup, select this, and you need to select the field as your employee number. And target, just configure your target. Create a new target, EMP unconnected PGT, and just put something like this. Save it. So this mapping is valid, right? The mapping is valid. So you can create a mapping task. Copy this. Click on these three dots. Click on new mapping task. Click on next. Finish it. Okay, and we can run this. Click on run. Go to my jobs. So this is about unconnected lookup, right? So we got 19 rows processed. Go to your connection. Select star from Scott dot. Sorry, the target table name was something else, right? Okay, this is a target table. Okay, we got 19 rows processed. So all of you understood about unconnected lookup here? It's simple. You just have to drag it here and just just check this box, unconnected lookup. Any questions on this from anyone?
Yeah, I have other question, Shiva, other than this. Like, if you see this data flow, right? Mapping. What you call the lineage, data lineage. Suppose if I want to see from target to source for one particular column, how it is flown in this scenario. So, will we be able to track that information?
You want to see the data flow? You mean?
Yeah, say for example, I have in target, suppose I want to change data precision in my target got changed. So same thing, I want to backtrack till source where what are all those columns it got.
Okay.
Yeah, that thing
Okay.
is possible. We can change.
No, there is something called preview here. You know, you can only do a run preview to preview your data at a transformation level, right? So for
Okay.
example, you want to preview your data at a source level, you can do a run preview to look at the data at a source level. This is going to open a new window and it will run a preview. You get an option to run rows to preview, like 10 rows. For example, if I just click on run preview, this is going to give you the picture about the data. It will come up with the data because it's everything is connected through a connection. You have a connection that is configured, and that is going to show you the source rows, and even at the expression level. If you want to see something at expression level, you can also do it. But again, there is nothing called debugger where you can't see the entire view at a single instance. You may have to get into each object and do a preview. That's a limitation here in IICS, right? Now, in case of a power center, when you run a debugger, right, you get options where you see multiple transformations, like probably run to instance and jump to instance, like F10 and all that, right? You get that options.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
But here you may have to see here we just ran a preview so that you get an option to download the preview results also. You can download these results. Say this is on UI, right? It's actually sending a
Yeah.
request for preview. Now, next,
Okay.
if you go to expression, you can even run a preview at the expression level. Okay, you can run a preview at an expression level. So this is how it works here. I know that we can't relate everything with Power Center, but this
So
is
Yeah.
on
we cannot propagate or something, Shiva.
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
if there
But
is
not
any
required.
change.
Not required to propagate also. It does an automatic propagate. I think I explained yesterday also.
Okay.
For example, uh, I'll just tell you that 1 minute. So for example, now it is generating a preview at the expression level. Okay, you don't have to worry about right clicking on the field and say propagate attributes. Okay, that is not required at all in IICS. If you do something, it automatically picks up those change of precisions or change of data types, and then it propagates those values. So now we got it here at the expression level. We got it. Okay, now source. For example, you go to source properties, you go to fields. Okay, I just maximize this. For example, I want to change salary. You click on edit metadata. Okay, you want to change it to 10. Let's say you want to change it to 10 here. Okay, click on save. So automatically all the salary fields in your flow, in your mapping flow, they get automatically updated. I'll just show you that. What incoming fields, salary, you got updated. See, 10. You understood? There's something called propagate attributes here. The attributes get automatically picked up. When you do something at the source level itself, automatically it will get picked up in your flow. Okay. So that's about it for today. And tomorrow we will discuss about normalizer transformation. Will cover a few more topics for normalizer. Okay. And if you have please make sure you complete these topics, before we move on, because we will go to synchronization and replication task, data transformation task, at a later point of time once we complete all the transformations. Because I want to go with all these things first and then move on to the tasks. We are discussing about mappings here. We'll complete normalizer, SQL parser, union, and rank, and then we'll move on to synchronization tasks, which is. And after synchronization tasks are done, we'll move on to the task flows. So it's simple, like, a mapping is mapping, same like Power Center, but a session is called a mapping task. A workflow is called a task flow in IICS. Okay, and task flow, we have advanced properties also, which we'll discuss later. Okay, and we'll discuss about parameterization also, and how to achieve parameterization, and how to use expression macros, hierarchical parser, hierarchical builder. We'll discuss about that, and REST API. We'll discuss in our coming classes. But if you have anything, please refer to my previous recordings. I hope you got the previous recordings. Please refer to that. Okay. Thank you all.